working? Or were you recording all of that, you little rascal?
We can keep talking.
Yeah, no, we were going to cover it all in this hour. Hey guys, welcome back to the. Shut up, Paul.
Now we're recording.
Now we're recording.
Okay.
He always flips the switch when I have no idea, so I just always just default think that I'm going to get caught saying something that someone's going to blackmail me with.
Uh-oh.
I'm the first person that cancels themselves.
I'll cancel you right now.
I'm sure you will, Amy.
It's just fun. Hashtag cancel Candice. It's fun. It
Don't
sounds
manifest
fun.
that. Damn it.
It's like got a nice ring to it.
I hate everybody. Hey guys, welcome back to The Struggle with Candice Thompson. I am Candice Thompson. And I always say this in the beginning, and I just want to say thank you to all my listeners who keep coming back time and time again. I adore you. To my new listeners, thank you. You still have yet to prove yourselves. So if you keep coming back, then I will thank you. But for this one listen, I'm not sold. But thank you for tuning in.
It's still nice.
It's still nice just to give them a shout. The Struggle is a podcast where I have my friends come on and we talk about the challenges of adulting because there's so many, right? So we're here to make you laugh about it, hopefully, and listen to some stuff that maybe you can relate to. So that's The Struggle. Follow me, Jokes by Candice, on social media. If you have not subscribed, make sure you do that on all podcast platforms. Rate and review us on iTunes. We're on YouTube. Watch videos there. And last but not least, if you haven't told someone about The Struggle, make sure you do that. Pay it forward. CandiceThompson.comedy. Damn it. CandiceThompsonComedy.com for my shows. And now I'm going to introduce my hilarious guest for the day, comedian Amy Miller.
Hi, Candice.
Thanks for coming, Amy.
So happy to be here before you get canceled.
If I get canceled, it's 50% on you. You know that, right? Because you just gave a shout out for me to get canceled.
We got to cancel Candice Owen before we get to Candice Thompson, I think, right?
Yeah, no, put a pin in that. But let me tell everybody where they can find you on social media first.
My Twitter's just Amy Miller, and then my Instagram's Amy Miller Comedy. Everything else is Amy Miller Comedy.
Amy Miller Comedy.
My podcast is Who's Your Godcast?
Who's Your Godcast? Yes. And they can find that on all platforms.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Yes. You guys make sure to subscribe.
I'd love to have you on sometime.
I would love to.
Okay, we'll book later.
No, let's handle this right now. I like to get the business down right. So for the Candice Owens things that I was going to say really quickly is when I did Rogan's podcast last year, I called her out on his podcast because he had her on like a month before me. And I was like, you have two black Candices on, except I'm the Candice that's not in the sunken place.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, the hate. Like because he has so many fans and followers, but it's a mix. It's like you have your left, your right, and then there's this weird space where his MMA meathead fans fall in. And I don't know, they're probably more right than left, but it's just, I got so much hate. I got a lot of love, but I got a lot of hate also from doing that podcast.
That's okay. Well,
yeah, I'm a woman.
I love Candice Owen.
Well, you're going to get the reverse feedback from my podcast. That bitch. Yeah, no, what is she is in the news recently for she said something else ridiculous.
Why do they let her go speak to Congress and shit like that?
I don't know.
It's crazy.
And here's the worst part for me is that I honestly don't even believe she believes in anything that she says. I think she's just doing this because it's the easiest way to get lots of money is to be a black Republican.
Yeah.
Because there's so few. And if you support, then they're all for it. So I feel like her and Omarosa, I feel like she saw that Omarosa was like fading away and not on Trump's team anymore. So she was like, there's a spot open. So I feel like she just took that. But I honestly think they're just like Tomi Lahren. I feel like, honestly, she doesn't believe half the things that come out of her mouth. I think she just is now in this character that she has to keep pushing.
Yes. We could say this about a lot of comedians we know. Where you're like,
next time on name dropping.
Yeah. I won't name any names. But you settled into something that works for making money and getting fans.
And now you're trapped.
Yeah. And you're like, why are my fans so terrible? Maybe because you say hateful shit.
Yeah, you attracted that.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say one name because this is not a secret, but Owen Benjamin kind of. Do you know?
Oh, yeah,
he kind of went in a spiral,
but also with some like actual mental illness.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that needs to be. I don't even know where he is right now. I think he's in upstate New York. I think I heard, but
I have no idea.
Still, I'm sure he's still performing and still.
Yeah, that's the other side of it. You said some shit that actually like lost you a lot of gigs, but then we know people who are not as bad as they seem in their persona or like on their podcast.
Yeah.
That is making money.
Right.
So they're like, I guess I'm just this person
guess I guess
now.
I'll have to be this now because it's what's paying my bills.
Yeah.
No, I don't ever want to be that. I've always just wanted to be like, this is who I am from jump. So this is what you expect, right?
I'd almost rather be poor.
Yeah, I was gonna. At least I could sleep at night.
I'm used to it.
Yeah. That I know.
Yeah, I know. I never want to look out on a crowd and be like, I hate almost every. Hate's a strong word, but
It is, but I also feel it for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think more like I don't want to look out and be like, I don't want to hang out with any of my fans.
No.
I mean, I really don't hang out with my fans, but like.
Look,
they seem really nice.
They seem fantastic, but there's some where it's like, okay, now you're getting creepy.
Yeah.
You're responding to every Instagram story I'm posting.
For sure. You get that like first follow and they just like 40 pics in a row.
Yeah. And you're like, okay. And even that to me I feel is okay. But I literally have people who respond to every Instagram post.
Oh, yes.
Like story.
Yes.
And I'm like,
I've muted a lot of people.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You sound like shitty people right now.
No. Well, I don't think it's shitty. I understand. And also, like, I think it happens more to women. It happens a lot to comedians in general.
For sure. And you know what I've talked about previously on a episode is how I'm just a bad fan in general. So I don't even know what it's like to actually be a fan and what proper fan behavior is. Because I don't, like, there are people who I legitimately love, like musicians who it takes a lot for me to be like, you know what, I'm going to buy a ticket and go support them. Like, I don't know. I don't follow. I just started making myself follow people like celebrities that I like on Instagram because I was just like, I'll just follow people that I know. But it didn't even dawn on me, hey, you could follow Jennifer Lopez.
I know.
Like, I just don't think about it. But it's like, I guess her Instagram is probably fabulous. I can follow her.
Yeah, a lot of celebs have a fun Instagram.
Yeah, so.
But still, you're not. It is funny sometimes when you go to like a major celebrity's like post and then you see, because it'll show your friends' activity and then you see that someone just like comments on celebrity Instagram.
Oh, absolutely. Oh.
And you're like, oof.
Now I'm judging you.
I know that about you.
Now I'm judging you. Oh, I have a friend, and he's definitely going to be listening to this episode. You know who you are. Who, every time I look at a Dr. Pimple Popper post, he's liked it.
You're sick.
Every time. You hear that? I'm just going to say his name. You hear that, Barry? His name's Barry. I know he's going to be listening to this. And it's not just me. Like, my manager also, who he's friends with, also looks at her post, and it's this. He's the first name that I see. Like, bye. And I'm like, why are you liking all of these? And I get it. I'm a big fan of popping and like pimples
You're
and
gross.
stuff.
No.
Yeah, no, I like it. There's something satisfying about it. But I haven't looked at that Instagram in months. But if I think about it, I'm like, oh, let me look and see what's going on Dr. Pimple Popper. But did you know that I saw on Shark Tank, because I'm a huge Shark Tank fan.
Me too.
Yeah, no, somebody invented and we could probably Google it because they had already made a bunch of sales when they were already on the show, but it's a synthetic pimple popping.
I did see that.
Did you see that?
One. Yeah.
Did that gross you out?
It did gross me out, but at least it wasn't real, so it was fine.
Yeah, so that's not real pus.
That's like so sick. People need that release.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Those
people are sick.
Staying with some family and one in Kansas City, and one of them is a doctor, and he deals mostly with wounds and gross skin stuff.
Like big wounds, or is there
big
like
wounds and like bumps and just gangrene and anything gross that could happen to the outside of your body. He's like, I love it. Oh, he's so psyched. He loves his job. And he's like telling me about the grossest wounds he saw that day. And he's just like, it was awesome. I'm like, well, it's good to love what you do.
That's why, thank
and
God.
we need you.
Thank God for people who have these weird things, because who would treat us when they happen to us? Mm-hmm. I think about dentists. I'm like, who wants to be in someone's mouth all day? But thank God. For the people who are turned on by that.
They love it.
Yeah, no, I couldn't imagine. Look at them. They love it.
I can't, any of that
Speaking of which,
stuff.
I have to make a dentist appointment next week. Anyway, I canceled like 4 months ago. Anyway.
Your teeth look great.
Thank you.
Good teeth. 8th day of a blowout. Just crushing
I am hanging on to this blowout like Stevie Wonder's hanging on to his dreads. like, I'm just like, one more day. I can get one more day.
They're so far back on his head.
They're not even on his head anymore. They're just on the nape of his neck.
And then he doesn't do like a Bret Michaels thing where he covers the front. It's just all out there.
He don't even. And to be fair, he's blind. But at the same time, you got people, and you got people. Who's your team?
Yeah.
Who is your team that's telling you this
blind,
is okay?
But not too blind to like cheat on his wife and shit. I mean,
what didn't he? I want to say, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure there was somebody that said that he gave them an STD.
Oh, yeah. That sounds right.
He's a famous musician.
I don't know how.
By default, think they all have STDs. That's just going in.
How do you get cheated on by someone who's blind?
Can
you just follow him?
This was my question. Exactly. This was my. Stephen Hawking cheated on his wife.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I said, what hope does any able-bodied, woman
when you're
have
traveling? But
does that make it okay?
If I was suspicious of Stevie cheating, I would have just followed him around. I don't know.
Why are you following me, you crazy bitch?
Okay, she's got impressions.
I do. No, I do have a joke where I talk about it because that was like when I found that I was like, what? I was like, what hope do we have with any man that has all of his faculties if we're getting cheated on by dudes who are quadriplegics?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, we're just doomed. So, we got sidetracked. We covered so many things.
I know.
And nothing that matters, which is why I love this podcast. So I'm going to get into my struggle really quickly before we get into yours. So I mentioned when you came in first that I like a boy.
Mm-mm. It's exciting, though.
It is very exciting. And here's the thing is that, you asked, is he a comic? No, I'm never doing that again. I've done it twice. Mark my words.
What are their names?
Well, no, I talk openly about the first one. I dated Ian Edwards a long time ago. We're talking, I was barely in comedy when we dated. I was like breaking the open mic scene when we dated, which is how Ian likes him.
So that's okay.
What'd you say?
He's funny.
He's hilarious. Yeah, watch his special on Comedy Central also if you haven't seen that. I haven't even watched it, but I've seen his stand-up.
It's embarrassing if they're not funny.
Yeah, no. And also the other one is not, I'm not going to say his name because I can't stand him, but I'll tweet about him later, so if you want.
Okay.
I'll save him for my subtweets, not my podcast. No, I don't care about this dude anymore. But, so that's only two. And, one of them is like my best friend. The other one is, it ended terribly. And but it's one of those things, like, I know what you are. Just stay away from me. Mm-hmm. One of those. Like, we don't have animosity. Like, I'm not going to fight him if I saw him. We do shows together all the time, so it's like, whatever. But, no, this person is completely outside of the industry.
That's great. What a blessing.
It's so refreshing. But not only that, so my struggle is that I am so jaded with how, because, people in the industry are terrible. Mm-hmm. Like, the worst people. We're surrounded by people that step on people and are so self-centered and so concerned for themselves and will say anything and do anything to get on that I'm like, there's no way that this guy, and I have to remind myself, like, there is a way. I'm like, there's no way that this guy is just nice. Like,
it happens though.
I have to remind myself. I wake up every day. I was like, there's no way he's a good guy. Like, I check myself.
We do know a lot of people in this business who are good.
We do. And we focus on the bad. We always focus on the negative. We could get 35 positive comments on a YouTube clip, and then there's one.
Oh, yeah. Those are the ones
that's like, she looks like a troll. And you're like, it's not even true. You know it's not true. But then you get in your feelings, and that's the one that bothers you for the next 6 months.
Did they call you that? A troll doll?
No, not a troll doll. But I've been called so many things online. Sure. Yeah, no. And I try not to read those things. But so, that's my thing is, because not only is this guy just seem, and I don't know him that well. We've only known each other for the past 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. But how'd you meet? On the internet? That's okay.
No.
Oh. What? It's okay.
I love how support. Candice, you don't have to be ashamed of that stuff anymore. It's not the early 2000s.
Exactly. You met him in real life?
IRL.
That's dope.
We met in real life. I don't want to say specifically how I met. I'll tell you after. Okay. But I don't want to say specifically how we met. But because it's somebody's husband. And so, no, I'm kidding. No, I just don't want to. I don't want to say. It's too. I'll get into that later. If everything works out, I'll let people know. Right.
Where you go to church.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want people to know that I go to Mormon compounds. So this guy, we met in real life, and we met in a weird circumstance because I was having an emotional day. So he had to deal with that, and then has since been still very nice to me. And I'm like, he must want something. Like he's either.
I mean, yeah.
Yes, but
both things can be true.
That is true, but like want it, and then a fuckboy, like want it, and then he's gonna dip out afterwards, or he genuinely is just a nice person, and he like sees something in me. Like, so when I first met this guy, it was like I felt something immediately, and I'm pretty sure based upon like some facial expressions that I saw coming from him that he also felt something immediately.
Yeah, I think you know when it's mutual.
Right.
Once you're an adult, yeah, we know these things. Right. We know vibes.
Exactly. So that's what I'm going off of. And so it was just kind of like, oh, I hope he's kind of feeling what I'm feeling. And then based off the interactions that have been occurring, it's like I'm pretty sure that he does. And so, but that's where I am now is like, I'm going to send some flirty stuff to him this week to let him know, like via text, like, let's.
What? He's probably going to hear this.
Well, no, I don't. And that's why, but that's how I didn't want to say how I met, because just in case he is listening, but I don't think he is. I'm pretty sure he's not.
He probably is. If he likes you, hi.
Yeah, no. I'm telling you, he's so removed from this industry. Like, was that him? Like, I think he might be gay. And, hey. But I do have a history of dating gay men, so there is that.
Oh, and you guys met at a gay bar?
That is weird. Accurate. And we were wearing the same cutoffs.
That's perfect.
And I was like, where'd you get yours? He was like, Nordstrom Rack. Me too.
I think, first of all, it already sounds like you're way overthinking it. In a way that could doom yourself.
We're comedians.
I know,
you do the same thing.
But this is fun. This is supposed to be the fun part.
This is the fun stage.
Like, relationships are really good when they're good. I like mine. I still love being in it. I love him.
How long have you guys been together now?
4.5 years.
Jesus, that's so good. In LA, you don't understand that's 20
we
years
met
in LA.
Portland. He's the best. But, and that has its own fun. But the courtship thing you don't get anymore.
No.
And so you got to enjoy it.
For sure. And we're not
it's
even.
Fun. And gives you those butterflies. Like, it's exciting.
I wake up every day like it's Christmas right now. Because I'm just like. And then, but again, and then the other thing I doubt is.
He must be so hot.
He's very cute. And that's another issue is that whenever I have felt giddy about a guy, it's been wrong. And so that's another reason why.
It's been just physical.
Yes. Yeah. And so I don't think it is just physical just because our conversations have been very respectful and he's done things to show me, like to go out of his way to do little things. It's like, oh, I don't think a regular dude would have done that unless he was like really digging me type thing. So that's keeping me in check. But at the same time, I am very untrustworthy of my own gut when it comes to men.
Sure.
And so that's the thing is like, I'm just like, Candice, he could just be a nice guy.
Yes.
I'm waking up every day and it's like affirmations, Candice.
And if he's not, then, you're just back at square one.
Right.
And you're like, see, I told y'all, like, my instincts were correct. And then you can sit in just the smugness of knowing you were right.
But here's the thing is because when they say you eventually have to learn that lesson, right? You learn the lesson of like how I said, how if my instincts with like getting the tingles about a guy have always been wrong. And I've told myself before this guy, like, oh, I'm not going to let that happen because now I know that my tingles are misleading me. So I'm not going to fall. So if I fall for it again this time, did I really learn anything? Because you're always like, what if that's wrong, though? Like, what if my tingles are actually right this time?
Because I think, okay, like leaving aside men who just are straight up horrible and abuse us, like a lot of those people that are like wrong. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's fun for a while. You're doing it for a reason. You learn something from it.
So you're
everybody has their
regardless.
place. Yeah, even if it ends up that you are better at navigating that kind of thing the next time.
Right. Which you
got to enjoy the butterflies even if it makes you anxious.
You're right. Like, I haven't felt this way about a guy in...
And those first hookups are so fun.
Hasn't happened yet, so I'm looking forward.
I'm sure it will.
I'm hoping so. I'm going to text him right now, actually.
These are moments you can't recreate,
For sure, yeah.
And then if you stay dating someone, you get different... romantic things and butterflies back, but you don't get that initial, fireworks.
Right. No, and that's what I'm feeling right now.
That's fun.
Like, it's fireworks.
It'll probably be fine. You guys will date for 6 months, and then you'll stop being interested in him. And then you'll listen back to this and be like, was I really,
That ran its course real quick.
All this, going through all this for that guy? He's fine. Yeah.
Why was I drooling on myself?
Yeah. I mean, I hope, if you want something longer, it ends up longer. But that is my prediction right now.
Yeah, no, what's funny is that I've come to a place in my life where I've been saying I'm post-sexual for the past, almost year now. Because I've completely just I'm not focused on that. I don't care. And I've just come to terms with the fact that I'm in an industry where most of the guys are... not into women.
What?
No, I'm dead serious. People think I was having
they hate women?
Not hate women. They're gay. We're in a town of theater boys.
Sure.
And I think it's there's more than what we think. Just because they're not out yet. I think that.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, there's a difference. But it's like the self-absorption, the gay dudes out here, and then you go to another city. I went to Toronto. When I was doing that Quibi thing that I was telling you about, the voiceover stuff, and I got hollered at, and I was there for a day, and I got more attention from men in that day than I'd gotten in LA for 6 years, and I'm not kidding.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just a different standard out here, and also, people aren't as direct.
Well, that too, but I also believe that there's a lot of gay dudes out here. I firmly believe that.
Sure.
Yeah, it just is. And so it is a different standard. There's a lot of things that obviously are factors in that, but it is and so this dude was he's a masculine dude. And I was I haven't heard a man say WD-40 in 20 years. So it just kind of made my panties drop. Okay. So I'm going to take your advice, and I'm going to be I'm just going to be optimistic. And whatever, I'm just going to enjoy whatever this is.
It will happen. But if you you don't want to get into a place where you overthink everything so much that then you sabotage it yourself.
Right.
Because then when you start looking, what are the problems? Is he secretly an asshole? Is he trying to use, if you start looking for those flaws.
Right.
You're going to find
I'm going to find them.
A lot of shit.
You always get what you're looking for.
Yeah.
So if you look that hard for it, you're absolutely going to find it. So yeah. Okay.
But if you're looking for love.
In all the wrong places.
Maybe
looking for love. Now, hopefully this is the right place. We met it.
Or it'll just be fun.
I almost caught myself going to say where we met, but I was like, no, stop.
Tell me after.
I will. Absolutely. I'll fill you in all after. Anyway. All right. So now what we really came to do today is talk about your struggle.
Yeah.
What are we dealing with?
I mean, it's so exhausting to even.
We got all the time in the world. We don't. We have maybe 37 minutes. No.
White women complain about anything ever again. I feel like
I want to hear people complain about everything because it just gives me material and it's entertaining to listen to. As long as your complaint is not more stand-up spots.
No, I'm doing okay there.
Because I don't want to talk about that. But no.
No, I mean, I think a lot of my struggle right now and what I'm working through in therapy and in other ways is just my unmitigated rage.
I like that you
just rage, and then on the flip side of it, though, see, you're laughing.
I am
because then I also I have this voice and this persona, and so it's laughable rage,
Yes.
But then also on the other side, kind of the double rage of knowing, especially in our job too, that I mean, women aren't allowed like the same levels of rage
Of course
without.
not. We get called
it
bitches.
doesn't get taken
we get
seriously.
called uncooperative, difficult.
Yeah.
Right.
Even if it's like valid,
which is most of the time.
But then, and okay, here's an interesting thing. I'm like, in a way, in some ways, I'm very chill.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't really get anxious or like upset about like a lot of the day-to-day things. Like, I don't know, like traffic. I don't like it when people make fucking crazy moves. Like, that'll give me rage.
Of course.
When they're trying to kill me.
Most people. Yeah, you're like, my life is at stake.
But yeah, just general inconveniences. Like, I'm very like, if the plane leaves without me, I'll get another one.
Oh, you're chill about stuff like that.
I'm chill about logistics and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Which I think I notice more because, my boyfriend's very like, he gets anxious about that kind of shit. Like, what's the parking situation going to be?
Okay,
And I'm like,
we'll figure it out when we get there.
Yes, yeah. But then it comforts him to be able to plan ahead. So you have to like work around that and be like, oh, that's just your shit. This is my shit.
Right.
I'm not great at planning ahead, I guess, but I get rage about bigger things, and I get, I don't know, I'm just...
What's the most recent thing you've flown off the handle about?
I mean, okay, truthfully, I'm on the road a lot.
Yeah.
I've tried to do this podcast four times.
And I know, but I get it. It's hard for me to be available during the week. Like, this is late for me because I'm just coming from work. So I'm like, I just want to go home. So I get it. And then comics travel on the weekends for gigs. So it's just hard to sometimes schedule people. So I get it.
So recently I created, now I'm giving away the secret. It's fine. I made, they're not going to hear it. I made like a fake email address for a fake manager who is a man.
Okay.
So that when I have to ask like club owners for reasonable shit, like,
it's coming from a
my
man.
show is in 2 weeks and you haven't even put it on sale yet, then it's like by the time I show up at the venue, they're not like, she's difficult. And by the way, I'm very polite over email. I'm a nice person, like,
for sure.
But I get this double, like, layered rage because, first of all, I get very upset when people are lazy or bad at their jobs.
Of course.
And not self-aware about it.
Yeah, of course. You should.
So infuriating.
It's like I'm getting anxious thinking about it right now.
Which happens to be the case with a lot of like club bookers. You're like, do you even know how to use the email? Like, why are you doing this?
And it happens so frequently. Like, I hear so many stories, and I know so many people that have experiences with people that are booking clubs, and it's just like, this is so much more difficult than it needs to be. Do you have any idea what you're doing?
And I'm trying to do all of the right stuff, which is like, get the show on sale, promote it, make sure there's people there, so we all make money.
Right.
I've given you everything like you need, the right headshot, whatever, my bio, and still it just doesn't, because a lot of people are just lazy.
Well, and then it makes sense. You're like, oh, now I figured out why this person is a booker at a hole-in-the-wall club in Tulsa. Because this makes sense, right?
But then I want it to be successful. I want the show to go well. So I get like the rage over just like the lack of caring. And I do think there's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy with especially like male bookers in this country where they go like, oh, you didn't sell that well. And I'm like, you mean on the show that you didn't put
promote?
Up for 2 months and didn't tweet about one time, nothing.
Right.
It's like, yeah, you're promoting us less so that you can say we tried it.
Right. And you're not doing anything. You're in half the effort that you put in when you have a male headliner.
Yeah. So I get that rage. And then I just get like the back end rage of after their response.
Yeah.
Where they're just sort of writing me off, or I do show up and I'm like easy to work with, but already they have this idea like, oh, you're difficult because you emailed me 3 different requests.
Of course.
So I just like, now I have this fake man do it and they don't get as upset.
Of course.
And I'll be like, oh, I hope Steve didn't give you too much trouble or whatever. And like, he's not real.
Her name is Stevenetta. You've been had. Like, it's unfortunate that we have to even go to lengths like that to get treated with the same type of respect or not get called difficult.
And it's but it's, when Bill Burr is enraged, people love it.
Of course,
whether it's on stage. And I mean, he's nice off stage. I'm not saying he's a rage-filled person in his personal life, but it becomes this like persona where it's like, oh yeah, he's just like me. He gets mad about stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's not cute when we do it.
No, of course not. We're just angry women.
So then I just get more upset about that.
And that just makes me even more mad.
Yeah. But then I know. Yeah. And then, just generally dealing also with getting rage about stuff that's like truly none of my business, but it's just unfair.
You're fighting the
I'm
cause.
a white woman from the Bay Area, so we meddle. I don't mean like barbecue Becky meddle.
Yeah, no, I'm a professional meddler.
I mean like meddle in the good way.
For sure,
where I went to Berkeley.
Right, you want to fight for something.
Yeah, I was going to be a social worker. I'm like fucking marching for by any means necessary in 1999. You know what I mean? So I just I get like upset about stuff in comedy or, I mean, really often in real life too. And I am going to get my ass beat. Is what I think. There's another thing too. There's like something specific about being from Oakland too, like that we're just people are ready to fight.
Oh, for sure.
If something fucked up is going on,
for sure,
and that's like all
Oakland
around
spirit that I've seen before, for sure,
and I love it. And I'm very proud of it. That's part of me, but sometimes you do have to take a little shit.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the whole thing. Is like I can't be disrespected. I also look like a teacher. It's like I just get so mad when I'm disrespected. Somebody I love is disrespected, or if I just see someone out in the world being treated unfairly.
But how are we not? To me, that's normal. Like that means you care
because people just stay out of shit.
But I don't agree with that. Can I tell you that? Like, can you imagine? No, I cannot. Because I was just talking about this when I did my just last episode. How, I think, was it you? I think, did you comment? I got into it on Twitter with somebody.
Yeah. I might have texted you.
No.
Oh.
I didn't get a text, but I think someone told me it was me and Miss Pat. I've already talked about it.
I think I stayed out of it online. I mean, I'm not trying to get in trouble from either one of you.
Oh,
but I said, all I said was, I mean, obviously I'm reading every word of it because it was entertaining, but I'm also like, I hate it anytime like women comics are having a conflict.
Then maybe women comics shouldn't start fights with other female comics.
I'm not getting involved either.
Yeah, no, of course.
I hate to see it.
I do too. I hate being the butt of it, right?
Yeah.
I want us all to get along. It's already hard enough in this industry as a woman in general, if you're not in the industry, just being alive.
Yeah.
But also,
did I comment?
Someone said, I think you said something about like, I hate when I see female comics fighting.
Oh, yeah.
So I think I didn't see it, but someone told me that you said that.
Yeah.
And my issue, not with you or with that, just in general, when you were just mentioning like how people don't get like angry when they see someone getting disrespected is just like, even like there were people that I call friends who know what actually happened. Like this woman disrespected me on stage. She called me a white woman in front of a whole audience for no reason.
That is rude.
And she don't even know me.
I don't even want to be called that.
See? And we don't know each other.
Yeah.
So for that to be the first thing that she says, white people clap for one of your people, is what she said, in the main room in front of hundreds of people when I have a casting director that's there to see me that night. Like,
yeah. No, it sucks. I hear you.
So
plus, I imagine. Okay, this is a little bit of an aside, but through therapy, it's always like helpful to kind of see like what my rage is connected to when it's about a certain thing. And I would imagine for you, like you've dealt with so much of that shit in this business where people are like, oh, you're not this enough, or you're not this enough, or like, I know you had a thing where your face wasn't dark enough for the poster.
A flyer for a festival. That is correct.
Because they needed like obvious diversity.
Obviously black people, so people don't call them racist.
Yeah.
Right.
But then it's like, this is still your life.
Right. And who are you you as a white person to tell me what is black and what is not, and I'm not black enough. Like, you sound you're the problem.
But then it happened to you from a black woman.
But that's my whole life. That's why it's like, that's the issue with black people in general. One of the issues with black people in general is colorism and like how light-skinned people get treated differently, but it happens within. But I don't want to make it about that. But just in general, like what happened to me was told to some good friends of mine, and like their responses were just not. I wanted to see more anger. Like, why are we not? There were people who were sending me messages like, hey, oh yeah, she's mean. Like, she did this to. I'm like, well, then say something.
Yeah.
Like, why are you DMing me? Like, I was getting attacked because of what I did to this woman. And what did I do besides like roast her on Twitter a little bit?
Yeah.
Right. And she came at me crazy. So that rage is like, means you care. And sometimes to me, like that is what sparks change. Like if we, and as artists, as comics, like that's why we have mics in our hands. Like, if we didn't get angry, think how unfunny we would be.
I hope so, but I think so. Part of the like working through it and looking at like the center of where your rage comes, because I'm sure also for this comic we're talking about, I don't know if you said her name yet. I'm not.
I did, Miss Pat.
I don't want to.
I've already said her name 3 times. On my podcast. I don't care.
I don't want to get into it with Pat. And I love you both.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
But I'm sure for her, there's layers to that rage too, because then it's like you also, like, you're a hot woman.
You heard it here first, everybody.
Everybody knows.
Stop it.
But that's a whole other thing with, like, competing women in comedy where it's like, she might have had a little bit of that. Like,
of course,
because she's hilarious, and I know she's got feelings about what she has gotten and what she hasn't gotten in this business and the reasons for that. And it's like,
we all have gotten things and not gotten things. Everybody.
I know.
So
there's
ridiculous.
never a reason to like attack somebody like that. But I tend to meddle in stuff that will. It comes from a very personal place, right? Like when I was a kid, for whatever reason. Oh no, there's a reason. All my friends were boys because I had sisters and they were fucking crazy, and they were older than me.
Women,
and they were just. I mean, we had a lot of trauma in our lives, so they were responding to that.
You're a comedian, so yes, I would have genuinely just assumed that.
But my 2 sisters are like they're best friends and worst enemies. They fight constantly, but they always they do everything together.
Yeah,
they were just nuts. So I was like, I don't want that in my social life. So I'm only gonna hang.
What a boys at?
Yeah. All the boys, all the time, which is easier when you're littler, kind of.
Yeah.
Because before that, like, the romance stuff starts coming up.
For sure.
And they don't know how to be friends with a girl anymore.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, they hate us.
Or they're like, I have a boner.
Right, and I just can't get past this, so we can't hang out.
Yeah, but shit would still happen where I just, like, I thought, like, gender was so unfair when I was a kid because this kind of shit would happen where it was, like, I had this pack of, like, 6 boys. We did everything together. We sat together at school. We had all our class. Like, they were my best friends. But then if they had, like, a birthday party, I was never invited. Because it would be boys only. And I'm just like, I'm still so mad about that. Like, straight up, I've never understood it. And then it's come into my adult life. Like, my best friend still is a man, and like, I couldn't go to his bachelor party and stuff, even though I was like his maid of honor or whatever you call that when you're a girl in there.
Right.
It's just stupid, but I was so mad at him. And he's like, it's my bachelor party. Like, it's just part of the tradition. Like, you can't come.
Of course. But
and I'm like, it's fucking stupid.
It is also like, who are these rules? Like, is there
exactly
a bachelor party referee that's going to call a foul?
Yeah.
Like, just let me come. Like, and what are you guys doing? You going to a strip club? I've been to strip clubs.
Oh, and
like,
then the whole weekend, they're all texting me because I'm friends with all of them. And then, at the end of it, he was like, you should have just been there.
I know.
Like, we missed you. And I'm like, no shit.
I would have made it so much better.
And I still give him shit for it. Yeah. Yeah, I would have made it better.
Yeah.
Because also women, like, think of a lot of shit that y'all
that
don't.
They don't think of.
Yeah.
For sure.
I know that Airbnb would have been clean.
We would have had water for everyone to stay hydrated. Yes. You guys would have been half as hungover.
Some Gatorade.
Yeah, we come prepared.
Yeah,
it's so ridiculous.
It's just so I have so much like bitterness about those like situations in my life that I bring it into comedy or into anything. You know, I'm just like, I want people to be treated well and equally across the board.
Yes.
And I want it to be a real meritocracy, but it's just fucking not. Yeah, it's just not.
I have to remind myself that all the time because if you keep focusing on that and getting angry about that being the case, then you legit will be mad for the rest of your career because it's just not.
And then out in the world, like, I'm just gonna probably get my ass beat. Like, this is
back to that. I forgot you said that, and I'm like,
this is a good example.
Yeah.
So, and I will say the name of the bar because fuck this place and the manager and the security. But it's layered, okay? There's layered rage to this story. So I was out in West Hollywood at Mickey's, which is like where a lot of the drag shows are.
Okay.
It's really fun. You see a lot of queens from Drag Race and stuff. And then
nice.
I was there. First of all, not my space, okay? I'm a straight person. I was there with Solomon and Caitlin Warehouser.
Oh, yeah. Love both of them.
They're great. And we're having a good time. But there is I need to also tell you this if you ever hang out in WeHo. There's a dude who goes from bar to bar, gay bar to gay bar, who is a straight dude. He's a fucking creep. And he just looks to target super drunk straight women who are like feeling comfortable at the gay bar because there's not predators there.
Oh, no.
And then he like assaults them in plain sight. Like, you know, he'll start dancing with them, start making out with them. And I'm talking girls that are like passed out, right? Basically, he's holding them up. Like grabbing, dancing, kissing, whatever, and then trying to get them into a cab to go back to his house. And I'm not convinced he's not drugging them either. You know what I mean?
How do you know? Have you seen this on multiple occasions?
I have seen this on multiple occasions. I have broken him up from women on the dance floor.
Oh, no.
And then be like, are you okay? And had girls be like, I don't even know who that guy is. He just started dancing with me. Like, I'm so drunk. And then I'm trying to put them in a cab or whatever. And it infuriates me. Like, I want to murder him, right? Straight up. But there's a lot of layers to this shit. First of all, he's a black dude, so I just look like a
barbecue Becky. Yeah.
And then it's a gay bar, not either one of our space.
Right.
But at the core of it, I'm like, I want to protect these women. It's not my business, but nobody else is doing it, you know?
And this isn't someone you know. This is a stranger. Who just is doing this.
So I saw it on multiple occasions. I've talked to him directly.
Oh,
many times. And I'm watching for you, motherfucker.
And what did he say?
He's like, you're crazy. Oh, he said... He told people like his ex-girlfriend sent me there to like try to ruin his life or whatever. And I was like, I don't know you or her. I just watch you, and I've seen you at multiple bars doing the same shit, and I will always rat you out. So look for this face, you piece of shit.
I am a proud snitch.
And
all right?
It's like, you know, I don't think he's going to beat my ass inside the bar.
Yeah, no, but that your whiteness is protecting you. Know that. Like, he's not, I honestly don't think he is going to beat you. Even him doing what he's doing to women, if it's as bad as what you say, like him leaving and doing, even that, of course, is risky, being a black man and a white woman, like some awful things, and rightfully so. Something awful should happen to you. But him putting his hands on you, like, you are in the advantage in this one. You have home court advantage. Just know that. Yeah,
that's good to know.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like if I see him again, I might.
You might.
But then, so I've talked to the bartenders at Mickey's.
Oh, that's good.
And this dude was straight up like, oh my God, I know people have reported him before. He's always in here doing that same shit.
Why don't they tell him he can't come in?
Thank you. I don't know. I have theories. There's some, he's a regular. I feel like he might be selling drugs to the bar. I don't know. There is some relationship there that they don't want to kick him out. Because then I talked to security and he was like, yeah, that guy's a regular. We're not going to do anything about it. And I was like, your bartender just said he does this shit all the time. And here's a woman right here who just told me he was up on her and she's almost blacked out.
And no one's doing.
And he was like, well, we don't really listen to the bartenders. And I was like, oh, interesting. Okay, well, and then he the security guy was Latino, and then I was like, I know how all this looks, that I look like the insane person.
Yeah.
But, like, I have video of this dude. Because also, like, my voice and the way that I look, the madder I get, the more ridiculous people think it is. And I get, like, zero respect. The stronger the rage.
Of course. The crazier the person is.
I hate it.
No, we cannot... And we've been gaslit so many times.
Mm-hmm.
And the easiest thing to do to dismiss a woman and her words is to say, she's crazy.
Yes. And that is what security said to me.
Of course. You're crazy.
Even though then I have like this pack of people being like, no, that's true. He did that. We've seen him do it before. And it just shit like that, someone, people like my boyfriend... He's like, you need to stay out of some of this stuff. But then on the other hand, he always is ready to fight if there's a real fucked up shit going on. Oh, right. Yeah.
And that's why,
if someone's
like
being
a good
hurt,
guy. Right.
He's a good guy. But he's also like, at this point, I can't even just go out and have fun because I know too much.
You're a warrior.
I got too old.
Yeah.
I'm always looking to protect younger women.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Or anybody who might get, fucked with.
I get it for sure. It's just, it is dangerous because like you said, people are crazy. So it's like you could speak to the wrong person and they will put hands on you or they'll have a weapon or something crazy. And being a woman, it's just that much more dangerous.
It is dangerous. And I should probably stop at some point. And then, okay, I was in Ohio. That's where you're from.
That's where I'm from.
All my favorite people are from Ohio. This man like almost backed into my boyfriend's mom with his car. He was like an ex-Navy, like this old crazy. He was probably drunk. Like I was gonna fight him at the Walmart.
He's like, retired Navy, not current, not active, so I could take him.
Yeah, well, he told us. And I was like, oh, you couldn't get into the Marines? And whatever. Like, he was probably going to fight me if Walmart security hadn't come over. And I was ready. Like, I'm so blacked out at the injustice of him.
That you get delusional? I could take him.
Yes. Because he almost hurt someone I love. If it's your mom or something, like, that's a whole nother. I will kill you.
Right. And I think, how they say how moms have a strength when it comes to their saving their kids. So, like, you've heard stories of moms lifting up cars because their baby got trapped underneath.
Yes.
I think it's the same way, just in general with us, when that adrenaline, like someone who you truly care about is threatened.
Yes.
That this strength comes from nowhere. And you could potentially be a threat to him. I'm not saying you could win necessarily, but
it runs in my family too. Like I don't know, maybe it's where we're from, or there's also something. If you're like kind of white trash, you just really don't allow yourself to be disrespected, even though you're a ridiculous person. But I swear to God, like I've seen, like one time at a bar, this dude grabbed my ass, and my brother was there. Unlucky for this dude. I swear to God, he put his hand on the dude's throat and his feet were dangling like in a movie.
With one arm?
I was like, how are you even that strong?
It comes out of nowhere.
Just blind rage.
I'm telling you, adrenaline.
And like that.
Yeah.
Like I was like, that dude grabbed my ass, and then he was just...
He just immediately...
Yeah, no questions asked. I mean, that's family.
Yeah. But that's what they're supposed to do.
But I will do that shit for strangers, and it's not very rewarding.
Well, of course, it's because then, and I see then how then that description of a complete stranger, it's easier for them to call you crazy if you have no connection to this person.
Yes, even the person I'm trying to help sometimes is like,
why are you so? You're madder than I am. Who are you?
I know. Like I think I'm some kind of superhero.
Yeah, you are. You're like a vigilante.
It's so embarrassing.
And has it gotten to the point where you legit like can't control it?
I'm getting better about it for sure, but I still like, then it breaks my heart. I don't know. Just anybody like being treated unfairly or feeling unsafe like makes me feel very sad.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about like safe spaces for comedy. Everybody
but
fucking
just,
lay off.
Right.
Like physically unsafe.
Physically unsafe.
I've gotten better at controlling it, I think, around comedy stuff.
Yeah.
Because there's people that won't speak to me or look at me because I said like, oh, you shouldn't run all white shows in LA. Just an idea.
Right. And now they're just like, fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll run my Klan shows if I want to.
Right. Well, it's worse with liberal white people, too, because we can't, like, if you correct us, like, you know, that's the worst thing. Just that I suggested that these people were doing something wrong, then they were like, oh, she sucks, and I'm not her friend anymore.
Of course.
And I'm like, but I'm actually right, is the other thing.
You just want to make sure that you know that I'm right. That's all I wanted.
You know, just shit like that. Like, I just I've historically gotten involved in those ways, and I'm trying not to do that for my own career. Just, like, keep my eyes on my own paper.
For sure.
It's hard.
I understand, but I understand that, like, for career purposes, you don't want to tick off too many people. But at the same time, it's like, somebody needs to tick somebody off, because if not, nothing is going to change.
I'm still always willing to stand up for myself, like, no question. Like, I'll burn bridges before working with an asshole or whatever. Right. Which is also bad, because we got to work with a lot of assholes.
That's most.
But also, I'm not going to be good at a job if I'm filled with rage all the time at how horrible you are.
I'm telling you, though, it might, like, my rage has given me so much material. Like, it's just, but I understand how that being a chronic rage could be detrimental. But in those moments where I get really upset about something, I'm like, I gotta write this down because this is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's the thing is you just, I gotta balance it. You know what I mean? So, like, if I show up at I am, like, good to work with. I'm a hard worker. I'm reliable. And I'm funny, I think. So...
No, you're
that
funny.
Kind of balance, because a lot of people will meet me.
You know you funny.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Like, Jack Knight told me I was great in person, but I'm Big Little Lies on Twitter.
What does that mean?
This is a crazy white woman who's entitled.
Oh, I've seen the show.
And I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
But he's like, you're fun. You're a good time, and you are really funny. So you should just, like, dial it back. But I'm like, well, I don't know. Nobody that meets me in person is ever like... She's very mean. You know what I mean?
No, I've never heard anyone say anything like that about you, for sure.
So I think people need to just change their lens and not, like, assume women are crazy when we're passionate about something.
But absolutely. But I think also there's just a lot of people that just don't care about stuff. So it's like...
I feel like I got to make up for them.
And exactly. I feel the same way. And I don't even understand... You're sacrificing yourself for the betterment of the people.
I know.
But again, I think that's what true artists do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, true artists, a lot of the time, don't get to, and this is a concern of mine as well, because I'm not as vocal as you, but I've put myself out there a few times and I've said things that I'm like, am I going to regret this? But I'm like, no, something needs to be said or done about this. And I'm going to be fine. Like, I know that. I'm going to be fine. I believe you're going to be fine. So we have so many people that don't care that I'm like...
Yeah. Or don't care about specific people. Because that's the other thing. We're, like, fed this lie that comedy is a meritocracy and it's a family. And it's like, well, no one comes to my defense when someone's... It's like... I also support free speech, but, like, do you guys know the number of clubs I can't work in this country because I'm too outspoken as, like, a liberal woman?
As things about
because bookers are like, she's too mouthy.
She's too difficult.
But it's like, so that's my free speech, you know? I gotta shut up or be a different person to, like, get booked no matter how hard I work and what my credits are and if I'm funny. It's bullshit. You guys aren't running to our defense ever. Ever, ever, ever.
Ever.
But they will protect each other.
Oh, for sure.
So a lot of it is just like but people repeat this shit so goddamn much on podcasts. Every comedy documentary is like, you just work hard and be funny and be nice. And it's such bullshit. It will get you somewhere, but...
It'll get you somewhere, but yeah, we all know that that's not the complete formula.
What anyone really cares about.
Yeah, no, not at all. You have to behave a certain way. And especially when you're a woman.
And we have to be grateful just to be allowed to be there.
Yep.
And it's like...
And that ties into with, how they say about promotions just in general, at women asking for promotions at their job, like not just in this industry, obviously, but in all across the board, in why women don't get a lot of the times higher positions is because we're not taught to go for them. We're taught to be like you just said, be grateful where you are and don't ask for more. Otherwise you're going to be considered pushy or whatever. And men just walk in there thinking, oh, I got this.
Supposed to be
with
here.
No credentials.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're not wrong because they've created that space for each other.
For sure. It is funny, like when you were...
It fills me with rage.
And I'm so angry about it. You said you weren't invited to your friend's birthday party that was in like elementary school or junior high?
I mean, this is like literally 3rd grade.
And you're still angry.
I'm angry about every single party, that bachelor party. But, it's just not getting me anywhere.
It is a boys' club, and I think
it prepared me for comedy. That's for fucking sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I think about that all the time, and that I see, because, we see people going on the road like big celebrities that take their features, and how often is it that they ask out a woman to be a feature for them?
Yeah.
Just in general. It doesn't happen often.
It's very rare.
It's very rare.
And then we get forbidden from doing it a lot of the time because bookers will be like, oh, you can't also bring a woman. And I'm like, how do we ever get ahead?
We have to suck dick. I can't believe you asked me that. You knew the answer.
I know.
But yeah, a lot. I've been asked to feature for... there's one guy, he's a celebrity, not like huge, but big enough. And he asked me a few years ago if I'd be interested in featuring for him. And I was like, this is for sure he's gonna try and have sex with me like that. And you just have to go in knowing that.
Yeah.
If a guy's asking you, a headliner, most of the time, I'd probably say 85% of the time, they're going to try and smash. Unless they're just a consummate, like, professional and actually respect what you do, which I have worked with, by the way.
Yes, they do exist.
Roy Wood Jr., Bobby Lee,
Tom Segura,
David Spade.
Arsenio.
They're all cool.
Yeah.
All great people. And so, but there are a lot of guys that are going to try and do that. And so it got into this gray area where he was trying to do stuff, and I was just like, I'm not interested in that. And of course, that offer then all of a sudden is off the table.
Yeah, I've had that exact same thing before and been totally straight. And this is like a friend, like straight up, like, you need to stop asking me if I will go out with you or fuck you. I want to be your colleague. I want it to be on the table to still open for you without this being like part of it.
Right.
And he was just like real shitty about it. This kind of shit enrages me too. This is also someone that people in comedy consider like one of the nicest, sweetest, like an angel, like flawless, without any. And
I
it's
hate
like,
that.
yeah,
I know who you really are.
I'm not saying his name now, and I will never, because that was a conversation between us privately. But it's like, and again, that's just me. There's no reason for me to like damage his reputation. Right. I'll tell you who it was, obviously.
Of course.
But it's just so disappointing, and these people get held up on pedestals like, oh, what a perfect dude.
I know.
And then it's like, he's actually doing a lot of shitty stuff behind the scenes.
And they don't.
So I like to do my shitty stuff out in the open. And then tell myself it's for the greater good. So at least...
I'm telling you, you put forth to me, and which I value in a person, is that you tell people who you are immediately. And for me, there's no second guessing with you. I'm not like... Thank you. I'm being straight up with you. I'm not like, what's her agenda? Is she talking shit about me? No, because you're not a person that you vocalize your... and you let people know up front. So I'm like, I respect that, and I think that's great.
Quiet a little bit.
But you're working on it, though. And I understand why you feel like that's necessary. It is, because you don't want to say something that's going to have a future effect on your work.
But then it's a balance, because I'm not. So now there's also this thing of like performative wokeness. You know what I mean?
Of course.
And I'm like, no, we're just like born like this in the Bay Area. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't just start.
I'm not doing this. I'm not pretending to be
so
woke.
I can tweet about it.
Right.
I just actually care. it truly sucks. I wish I didn't care.
Yeah, no, I do too.
More of a curse.
It's more of a hindrance than. I agree, 100%.
Yeah, but then I'm always like, oh, is this appearing like I'm just full of shit? So it's just, but I still have to sleep at night, and I want to live with myself, and I still want to speak up if something is truly wrong.
Yeah,
but it's all understanding the layers. You know what I mean?
So many layers.
Like that night at Mickey's, a gay bar that you shouldn't go to if you are a drunk straight woman. Because...
Yeah, no, good to know, because I was going to go there tonight trying to find a man. I like the gay ones.
So I made a promise to myself, because luckily also I worked in tech, and I worked in music, and I worked in music venues, which is all dude heavy. Oh, dude heavy.
Right.
And I told myself when I got out of my last day job, that it would be my last day job unless it was for comedy. And I don't want to work for any guys like that again.
That's great, yeah.
And I deleted my LinkedIn. You know what I mean?
Isn't that the best feeling?
If anyone's asked me for that for comedy, I'm like, no, I'm not making a new one. I set those bridges on fire.
Yeah.
I work for this company called Ticketfly. Fuck everybody who ever was an executive there. Say it publicly. They're horrible people, and I worked there for 3-4 years, and
wow.
Yeah, they were creeps. They did this is slightly pre Me Too. I don't think they would even have jobs anymore. But
right.
I'm fine with setting bridges like that on fire, because I don't want to work for guys like that in comedy.
Right. There's certain bridges you're like, I don't care if I burn this, because I would never want to work with you ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I agree. Yeah.
But I am going to have to work in some way with men like that, probably.
Of course.
And I do already at comedy clubs all over the country.
Of course.
Just useless, fucking dumb, lazy misogynists. They're always going to be around. A lot of them, I think, are pretty close to death based on the amount of cocaine they do, so that's nice. But you know what I mean? I got to find a compromise where I can be myself, but right. I can also have this rage.
There's a happy medium. I always recommend meditation.
Oh, God. That's what Jesus was telling me today.
Yeah, no. Oh, yeah. I talked to Jesus about meditating
twice a day.
Yeah, no. I'm starting to do it twice a day. I do in the morning, and now I'm starting to do a little bit at night right before I fall asleep. Yeah.
It's smart. And I do, my own form of meditation. I haven't gone. I'm very good at being quiet and still and introspective.
Okay.
I always have been.
Okay.
Because I was a silent child.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Those silent kids. Yeah, no,
I was
creepy.
I was silent too.
Child of the corn.
I didn't feel like I fit in anywhere, so I spent a lot of time by myself,
just observing, watching, reading, hiding in a closet.
Yeah. Making a people to kill list, like a normal kid.
But it's just I have to be better at weighing how these things actually affect my own psyche, whether or not it'll be effective,
right.
and I'll actually help with something or make a situation worse.
Yeah, that's to be determined. We'll find out next week on this.
Rage with Amy Miller, my new podcast.
You are a hero, and I thank you for your service.
Oh, no, don't. Never glorify a white woman's meddling, Candice.
So being sarcastic right now. No, but on the real, I am like you in that I'm a person that has a hard time biting my tongue. Mm-hmm. I think that things need to be said a lot of the time. We're disruptive. Let's just go with that. But I'm going to get you a T-shirt that says, "Let me speak to the manager." Thank you. We're out of time, but this was fantastic.
So
no, I know. It went by so quickly. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. I'm glad it finally worked out.
I know. We did it. Yay. Tell people one more time where they can find you on social media.
Amy
and your
Miller
podcast.
on Twitter. My Instagram is Amy Miller Comedy. And my podcast is Who's Your God? And we interview comedians about their religious beliefs.
That is Ooh.
It's good.
I like it.
It's me and Steve Hernandez.
Oh, I love Steve.
Yeah. It's great.
I haven't seen him in a minute. All right, guys, that was it. That's it for The Struggle. Thank you for listening. Again, if you have not subscribed, make sure you do that here on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. Rate and review us on iTunes. And if you haven't told somebody about The Struggle, make sure you do that. And if you haven't followed me on social media, which would be weird, how'd you find me? Jokes by Candice, CandiceThompsonComedy.com for my shows. And make sure to support Lights Out with David Spade every night on Comedy Central after The Daily Show. All right, till next time. Bye.
Thanks.